that lovely? Absolutely glorious autumn Sunday here in Warsaw, Poland. I know, guys, I know. It's been a long time since I've got myself in gear and putting my ideas down on video, which I know that you guys like so much, but I have been doing a lot of writing, so I haven't been exactly out of the picture entirely, but when it comes to the video stuff, I know there's more I could have done, and it's nice to be back, you know. And I was just walking through the city here on one of my Sunday walks. By the way, I'm walking a good 7,000 steps plus every day. I'm finding it to be very, very helpful for kind of keeping my mind straight and sleeping better and that kind of stuff. But I was just walking along, beautiful day, a bit grey but beautiful, thinking to myself all these kind of negative thoughts coming up about how boring Sundays were and how much of a kind of hamster wheel grind things were, and how like it feels like only yesterday it was Sunday, and like where's the week going, all those kind of niggly little human thoughts that I know that you have as well sometimes. I was just thinking, like, where's all that stuff coming from? What's the point of engaging these silly thoughts? It only made me feel less engaged with my walk, and I found myself kind of, conscious of that, and I immerse myself, as I often do when I know that I'm in cyclical thoughts, with just being present and being without the thoughts and not entertaining those thoughts as if they were true. Like we think they're worth entertaining, and therefore we try to turn them into the truth when they're not really the truth. And how good that feels to be free of those thoughts. And it made me realize how most of freedom, if not all of it, maybe that's quite a bit of an overstatement, but most of the freedom that we're looking for, I know that you guys are looking for freedom and looking to incorporate more of a sense of freedom into your everyday life. Most of it isn't in the circumstantial, really. It's not so much about the stuff you've got or not got in your life. It's not about your extraneous external situation. Obviously being in a cell is going to be less free than living in a van or whatever, but you know what I mean. Most of this sense of weight actually comes from the thoughts. It comes from our cyclical thought patterns. And the big difference in whether you are genuinely free, or at least feel genuinely free or not, is the degree to which you are entertaining those thoughts. And just by realizing that you don't need to entertain those thoughts, suddenly you've got this window open for you where you can just be in the world without that heaviness. And it's a good feeling. You actually feel free rather than... Sorry about the wind. This is a common thing that happens when I'm outside, of course. Oh gosh, yes, it is a windy one, isn't it? Gives you a chance to kind of look around a bit, but I have to find a tree to hide behind. That's the beauty that I'm reminding us all that is within access, right? It's that being able to move away from all of that heavy thinking and realize for a moment, hang on a sec, I can turn on the light here. I don't have to be in the dark. I don't have to be immersing myself in this illusion of boredom, of mediocrity. I don't have to find an even less, a more fulfilling life. I don't have to find a better situation. I don't necessarily need to find an improved circumstance. I just need to let go of the crappy thinking that makes me feel like life is worse than it is. And it's foundational when it comes to the mental health stuff that we're all banging on about. That's the first thing to really address, is not, I need to change where I live, I need to change my relationships. That will come if needed. The foundational stuff is there, nudging you in the side, saying, yeah, there's stuff to look at as well, mate. You know, there's all this thinking that you've got that's weighing you down, and a lot of us don't even realise how heavy it's making our everyday lives. And so you might be saying, which a lot of people do ask, they say, Alec, well, how do I kind of drop the thinking? How do I let go of these thoughts? It's not always so easy to let go of these thought habits that make us feel shitty. Well, I always say the same thing, which a lot of people don't go to, a lot of the gurus do not talk about, which is, it's not about trying anything. It's not about forcing yourself to let go of thought. It's not about like cleverly manipulating how you think. It's simply in realizing that you don't need to think these thoughts to be impactful, to be effective. Make sense? A lot of people keep digging into this thinking. They keep feeling as though they need to think thoughts like, oh, it's such a grind. Why is everything so tedious? And why is this and that sucking in my life? And we think we need to think those thoughts and entertain those thoughts because it gives us more of a sense of control over our lives. And that's the lie that we all buy into, this lie of thinking that by worrying and by entertaining, hooking into these rather glum thoughts, that we have more control over our lives. And it just doesn't need to be that way. And so it comes more out of realization and philosophy, really, than employing any tactic to be more free. So to be truly psychologically free means we go through our days in that wonderful sense of joy and relief that we don't need to be entertaining these unhelpful, glum, miserable thoughts. And we get there by simply realizing that we don't need to entertain these thoughts. And it's that understanding that makes the difference. It's not any tactics, not any clever strategy. It's just the understanding that there's no point. And it's not a kind of it's not a give up on life type of thinking. It's literally letting go. You don't need to think these thoughts. And when we don't think these thoughts and we become more in the moment, what happens? We end up being more creative. We end up thinking better thoughts anyway, by default. That's who we are. We're creative beings. We have a kind of creative energy flowing through us. And when we give ourselves a moment of respite from the onslaught of unhelpful thinking, we actually realize how creative and how positive we are without effort. That's it from me today, guys. I hope that was helpful. It's good to be back. Do encourage me to keep making these videos if they do indeed help you. This is Alex signing out from a beautiful autumnal Warsaw. Take care, guys.